Okay, so this is the last video now on the series Git for Dummies. So I just want to show you how to fork a repository on GitHub, how to commit to the forked repository, and how to create a pull request. Okay, so let's consider you want to contribute to the very best and most important GitHub repository on the planet. This is the Coursera repository in the IBM organization, which I'm maintaining. And let's assume you have found an error in one of those software components. I mean, it's impossible that there is an error, but just consider there is an error and you want to fix it. So what we can actually do is, you can either ask me to give you commit rights to that repository, but it's better if you just create a fork of this repository and then commit to your repository, to your fork, and create a pull request. So let me show you how that works. So you see here 529 other forks already forked this repository. By the way, just give me a star if you like. I want to have 1,000 stars soon. Here you can click on fork, and then it asks you where you want to fork it into. So this is in the IBM organization, and I'm now forking it into my private account. And that means I will have a Coursera repository in my account here, and you see here even it's showing me forked from IBM Coursera. Okay, now I can change something. I can either make changes directly in here, but to make it a bit more complicated, let's actually make the changes locally. So I clone it. Oh, I shouldn't forget to show you how to add your RSA public key to the GitHub repo, but to the GitHub system, but I'll do that later. So I'm now cloning this Coursera repository, this remote repository, into my local repository, and you see here again it's in the Romeo Kinsler account, which is basically a copy of the official IBM one, and I think we have to wait a bit because it's quite huge. I should have maybe set up 2 little test repositories, but anyway, let's wait for that long. Yeah, while we are waiting, let me show you something else. So that's about the SSH keys. Okay, I'm now in my home folder, and in your home folder you have a SSH folder, and I have already created the key. So there's a private key. Never ever give it to anybody, and never ever show it the contents to anybody. And you create those, and you can set a passphrase for the keys. And I will put the commands for creating those into the description of this video. But that's the public key that you can safely give to anybody and share with anybody. So I can also do that here. So I can show you the contents. So see, that's the public key. And what I do is, if I go to the GitHub page, I have to go to, I think, the account settings. Here, SSH and GPG keys. So you see here, here you have to add the key. So you can say new SSH key, and you just paste the contents of the public key. And now I'm not doing that because I've already added it, but that's all you need to do in GitHub. And from now on you can use SSH, because only you have the corresponding private key to that public key here. Therefore you can safely authenticate against GitHub. Okay, so you also know this, and I'm hoping that in the meanwhile this other, yeah, the cloning is done. So go to Coursera and let's have a look into that repository. So we have the README, for example. Let's have a look at the README. Maybe there's something I can improve on the README. So this is the GitHub project for the following Coursera specialization. So let's put Coursera into a capital and save. Okay, as you remember, I need to say git add, and then if I say git status, the readme file is modified. Okay, I say okay, git commit, and I say now message. Now it's important, since this is a real repository, I cannot just write a crap message. Corrected little typo, and now I say git push. Okay, so now the corrected readme is in my local repository and in a remote repository, but only in my private account. Okay, if I go to this repository here, so in my private account, then if I click on readme, so first of all, you see here 21 seconds ago it has been changed. You see here the commit message, corrected little typo, and if I click on the readme, you see here the C is now capital case. Okay, now I want to get this change back into the official repository IBM/Coursera, and you see here there's a contributor, so she also committed some stuff via pull request into the main repository. Okay, so it's straightforward. You can create a pull request easily here on that button, and then the difference between my repository and the official repository is just used, and you see here the only difference is here the little typo correction. I say create pull request. Okay, so that's something I'm doing as a potential contributor. I say create pull request. Okay, so now I myself, as I'm administrator of the IBM repository, I will get the email, and you see here I'm already forwarded. So let's consider I'm not Romeo, I'm somebody else, the administrator of the repository, and here I see there's a pull request coming in, and I will review it. So I see, okay, cool, someone fixed the little typo in my repository. That's something I can definitely accept. So I say merge pull request, confirm merge, and usually what I then say is merged. Thanks a lot also. Okay, so you have to be polite to your contributors. Now here I'm in the Coursera repository, and if we now click on readme, you see here there's a capital case, and that's basically how it works. No, here you see the commit and the commit message, and that's basically all. So I hope this helped you a bit. So with that knowledge, you will survive around 80% of your Git and GitHub problems and work. If you have specific questions, feel free to ask me in the discussion forum or in the comments below the video. And thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Bye. Thank you very much.